94.9 FM, the flow of Godson State, the pinnacle of all discussions, the platform this morning. Of course, today is the 12th day of August 2022, generally celebrated as International Youth Day. Then the topic or the theme for the year, intergenerational solidarity, creating a world for all ages. So basically today is more about the youth, perhaps to crave the indulgence of the youths out there that we have a role to play in basically everything that has to do with the country. And in the light of that very foregoing, it's only months, of course, to the next electioneering period where a new set of leaders will be elected, re-elected in some cases, but significantly there will be an end to a tenure, flagging off a new one. Importantly, today, like I stated, is the 12th of August, which of course is the day mapped out to celebrate the youth out there, like I said as well. The question is, in the moment when political ecosystem is yearning for a change and betterment to basically every aspect of human life in the country, what role can the youths play effectively? Do they have roles to play? Are they prepared? What, on the other hand, is the government doing to equip and make out the best from their youthful exuberance? This, of course, will form the premise of our discuss this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion. My name is Wisdom Thomas. I have with me gentlemen in the studio there. You would get to meet them. I have Honorable Barrister Charles Ezeonu is the Honorable Commissioner for Youth and Sports in the state. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being a part of the platform this morning.
Good morning. Little correction, I'm the Commissioner for Youth Development.
Okay.
The ministry has been bifurcated, and we have sports and now youth development.
Thank you very much for that very correction. Of course, I have Elder Dr. Temple Musu, who is the Director Youth Mobilization Ministry of Youth Development. Thank you for equally joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
I equally have Comrade Smith O. Silvanus. He's the State Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter. Thank you as well for being a part of the conversation this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll start off quickly, Honorable Commissioner. We have to start off with this very crucial question. And that question is, how much does the governor of the state, how much does he appreciate the youth of this state? How much does he love them? Let us start off from that very angle.
If I should bring it up on scale of percentage, I'll tell you that His Excellency, the amiable governor of Abia State and the youth-friendly governor, that on a scale of 1 to 100, that he loves the youth 87%. I know why I'm leaving just 13%. So, and he has done so much. He's doing more. He also has a mindset to do more, and he has made frantic efforts, and both practical and theoretical, to make sure that the youths are uploaded on the competitive scale with every other youth in the globe. He's doing so well in that particular regard.
I'm going to stay with you as well. You said he's doing so much already. I mean, the 14th of February was the point when the tertiary institution went on strike. And, of course, 14th of this very month will make it absolute 6 months they've been in their homes. What has the government done so far just about to ensure that they're engaged? And if there has been nothing done in that regard, what is the plan of the government to get them gainfully engaged? That is pending when the strike will be called off.
His Excellency Governor Kezi Bazu, I cannot rule out everything he has done and he has been doing and he keeps on doing with regards to.
But it will be very, very important you touch on some of those.
Yes, I can't rule out all because, but I know that you and I know that he took some youths to China to learn the trade of making shoe, and after that particular program, when the youths came back, he went to China and procured all the necessary machines, and also came and built a world-class shoe factory in Aba. It's just a recent development, and where those youths are engaged, and every other youth who wants to also learn the trade of making shoes should go there. And what he has on ground there catches up with every international standard. So aside from that, he won award as the best SME governor, and the people who enjoy that particular scheme are youths without any contradiction, it's just 100% youth, pure youth program, and that particular sector is enjoying the dividend of democracy, dishing it out to the youths in serious quantity, in serious quantum. And just recently, he also opened the Abia Finance Macro Bank, where loans soft loans are granted to youths. He also gave grants, like the day he opened that particular outlet, I was there. He gave grants and asked them to come back and take 25 million naira the next day to also keep on doing. So every youth that has every quality plan and vision about his business, small, medium enterprise, should go there and get himself involved. And not as if that is enough, just barely, it's not up to 1 month, where he also personally came and engaged the youths also in area of small, medium enterprise, where everybody, that there was a platform that was used for that particular program, and that platform wasn't regulated. Those that applied that had business scheme, that was also present in that particular program. They won prizes, and the first person that won the prize of 1 million naira. And then those that do the business of honey and a lot of other things, they won prizes ranging from 1 million naira to down the line. And His Excellency, the Governor of Abia State, was there in person to give these cash donations to these entrepreneurs. And then further to that, a whole lot of other things, like if I keep on mentioning them. So within this space of where youths are in the house because of the strike, this is not a political forum, but then when we were shouting and saying that PDP should not be voted out of power, and APC was voted in, what do we have today? Students are in their respective roles, and then you see this issue of what's it called, youth restiveness and every other thing is happening because of students being at home, and Governor Kezibazo has stepped in to make sure that those youth are engaged.
Let me engage Elder Dr. Temple, which at this point is the Director of Youth Mobilization. You've gone on to mention the vast things that the Governor has done there. That's in what you have stated so far. I'm going to turn to him and ask him this very crucial question. How has it impacted the youth in the state? It's easier said than done. I mean, someone can just be somewhere and say so many things, But then how much has the youth in the state been impacted? How has it simmered? How much has it impacted their lives and, of course, their families?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Actually, all these programs highlighted by the Honorable Commissioner had really impacted on the Abia youths. Firstly, most of them who have interest in small business schemes have resources to do their business, and they have also acquired skills which has enhanced their trade. Take for instance the shoe-making business we're talking about. Abana is a hub that nobody can see as a backwater issue. So our young people are everywhere, engaging themselves, and the governor has really given them the impetus to really forge ahead. Take for instance the issue of funds, that is a Microsoft loan. They have assessed it in such a manner that funds are no longer serious impediment to start up a business.
So you're saying if I go out to the street now and I meet the youth there, ask him the question, your business, have the government in any manner helped you to get to this very place you are? I would get a positive response, yes. 6 out of 10.
Yes, if you are lucky to meet those who are involved. We have an avalanche of young people into so many things. So if you are lucky to get those who are involved in this kind of a business, you'll be rest assured that they will confirm what I've just said.
Amazing. Okay, the reason this has become a concern, in terms of having to get the youth engaged, we understand that at this very point they have so much energy, they are vast with so much energy, and when they are not giving things to do hands-on, the tendency or propensity for them to get into something unpalatable or making the state ungovernable or inhabitable is very much there. And so there's been cases of drug abuse and sexual assault out here and there, sprinkles within the state. I'm turning to Honorable Commissioner now. What has the government done, the government of Dr. Okezie-Ikpeazu, who, of course, you said lost the youth 87 out of 100. What has it done to be able to stem these uncanny, unpalatable things in the state?
You know, my criminal law lecturer then will say that a kleptomania, when you even try to stop him from having access to things that he will still go and steal the sand we have on the floor. So some youths, notwithstanding whatever thing you do, you still see them, those who are above level of addiction, you still see them do funny things. Unfortunately, I haven't come to this particular radio, but if you listen to BCA,
yesterday.
I'm very well, thank God, and I will be coming here from now. And so that if you listen to BCA, I have a jingle that is running up and running on curbing the ties of taking hard drugs. Now, aside from that, the other day, I also accompanied Her Excellency to where these people who are being rehabilitated are in Aba, where we have the drug institution,
okay,
the law enforcement, yes, and a lot of youths are there, so they are being rehabilitated. And then, just like as I had mentioned, it's only for them to cash in on the areas of programs that the governor has lined up, practical programs. We've seen a whole lot, just like as I had mentioned before. If you go, the support of the return of Bank of Industry to Abia State, facilitation of revolving loan to shoemakers, and establishment of Abia SME Microfinance Bank, just like as I mentioned before, a lot of other things. So it's only for these youths to really cash in on all these programs and make sure that they refuse to go the other direction, to do what is not fair and proper. If you decide to go and take narcotics and drugs, you will die. It has a really, not only that you will misbehave, your health will dilapidate, and you definitely die. So it's not in the interest of any youth to go and do that, and the government is not holding his hand. Okay. Make sure that he provides things that will make sure that they take off their face from all those social vices.
Okay, having said that, I'm turning to Comrade Smith O'Sylvanus. Now, you're the state chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, and of course here in the state, they've hacked on things that the government, I'm talking about the Honorable Commissioner, has mentioned things the government has done, the modalities in place to stem the tide, the resurgence of some of these things which are very much unpalatable in the state. What is your council doing? What is your agency doing in order to perhaps sensitize the youths and tell them that getting involved in this is only putting you in harm's way?
Yes,
What programs have been in place before now, at least?
Oh, okay. Just few days ago, we were in Ogunabo local government.
Okay.
And the distance of going there, actually to do congresses, and as well, because we understand that the information is power. A lot of people, especially those at the rural areas, don't even know what is going on, because some of these things are being shared within the social medias and using the radio platforms to disseminate those information. So it is our responsibilities to go through the local governments where the youth council have all its branches, and the makeup of youth council in those local governments are the community youth presidents, the heads of youth organizations within those local governments, and they were all involved. And we roll out government programs and give them links to access those programs, because a lot of them may not also have access to Android. A lot of them may not have access to radio and TV stations, maybe due to NEPA failure and all that. So, but we used our platform, the Youth Council, through our local government to send information through the community youth presidents, so that they will understand what the government is doing. To an extent, we've been able to let them understand that it is not about blaming government. There are a lot of programs the government have, but information. What did they use their phones for? Do you use your phone just to snap pictures and do photo things, or you use your phone to access information that will help you better your life. So it is our responsibility, which is what we are doing. We've already done something with the Southeast Chamber of Commerce. We've already done, 2 months ago, we had a program on youth development, and we are, in fact, just yesterday, the Ministry of Training and Establishment are just they are sharing empowerment programs, and we're able to catch up with that, and we have about 400 forms from them. And those 400 forms, we are sending it to the local government. Why are we doing that? It's to also let them understand what the government is doing. And the council is doing more to ensure that we get to them. And the feedback is quite interesting. But so you can't get everybody at the same time. So most of them who have not really accessed those information, they may have 1 or 2 reasons to complain. But we always pacify them to just get the information and key into it. I know it will help their lives.
Okay, he of course believes that it will help their lives. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion here on Flow 94.9 FM, the Flow of Godson State and Wisdom. Thomas, I've been talking to the Honorable Commissioner for Youth Development in the state, Honorable Barrister Charles Ezom. I'm still staying with you, sir. Looking at the number of persons who are definitely the electorate who will be playing a part in the election come 2023, we're hearing, as per the statistics, that about 71% of the 12 million persons there who are youth. Now the key question to ask is, it's not been long ago, 2018 May 31st or thereabout, the president did sign the not too young to run bill into law. So I'm going to ask this crucial question: how much has it impacted the participation of the youth in politics within the state and of course in the nation?
Yes, thank you very much. Why we keep on mentioning Governor Kezi Ikpeazu is because the empirical evidences we have are really quite enormous. As I speak with you, the local government system has the likes of Chima Agbeze, the likes of Chime Hilora Ikonne, the likes of Promise Uzomokoro, who is the deputy chairman in Bende local government. And then above 70% councillors are all youths. And this is the way His Excellency Gobazo has really used to bring the youths on board to make sure that they feel the impact of governance and give their own quota, their contribution. And then just like the statistics that we have today, when it was being dished out, we said that about 70% of people that register for PVC are virtually youth. So that means that they are really come on board to take charge, to become responsive and responsible about the political atmosphere. And then the governor on his own part is not sleeping, he's doing everything to get them involved. And to a large extent, you still see that 2023 will also not be an exception. So in Abia State today, our youth are substantially involved in the issue of in the political space. They're really doing well within that space.
From Honorable Commissioner's words, he's only suggesting that the youths are very much involved in the state. But I'm turning to you, Comrade Smith. Do you think that with these numbers they can be able to make a statement come 2023 in terms of what happens, who's elected, who's given the chance to rule the nation, who's given a chance to rule in the state? Do you think that they are capable, as per the number, to come out and say, this is who we want, this is the person we do not want?
Yes, my brother, it's very possible. Just take a statistics of the number of the young people who have just registered, who have just either registered or renewed their voters card recently. You find out that it has really skyrocketed to tripled what they had before. What does that shows you? It is just telling you that the youth have really come to take charge. It's no longer business as usual. That would tell you that they have now understand that the time is now. There is no other time other than now. So I think if you look at the revolution, if you look at the strength of which they're coming up with now, that would tell you that it's not going to be easy for anybody who will undermine the strength, the voting strength, the capacity of the young people in the state.
Okay, I'm staying with you as well. I am staying with you, comrade. From what you've said, from what he said, it is looking as though the youths are very much on board now for them to actively be a part of the political scheme of things. But then when we look back at the convention which took place not too long ago, whereby humongous sums, I mean, in terms of the nomination and participation forms, there were things which basically most of the youths in the nation may be dreaming of getting such amount of money. What is your council doing? What are they doing in terms of possibly forcing, whatever, trying to advise the political parties in the nation to reduce the nomination form so that these youths will not just be mere onlookers sitting somewhere holding the placards? You will go, igaga, igaga. What is your council doing in order for them to be a part actively in terms of vying for positions?
Well, you and I will also understand that you see, that is their party primaries, and they have their way of doing things. And remember, we have so many political parties, and I know, you and I know that few months ago you just heard about few political parties, maybe 3, but now there are more than, I think, 6 political or 7 political parties. What happened? Since they increased the price of their forms for which would have been so difficult for the young people to raise that kind of money, so we leave the party for them. And
so that's the best measure whatsoever to sort these things out.
As the young people, because of the economic hardship in the country, it's difficult for a young man to raise 100 million. It's also difficult for a young man to raise 50 million, even 10 million to purchase a form. So most of them just said, okay, let us have our own parties where you can use 20,000 and get a form, where you can use 40,000, where you can use 50,000, where you can use 100,000.
Aside from that, we know that there is this talk, this cliche about structure, which of course has to do with numbers. If you create your own party and you say it's going to be a youthful kind of party, we know, you and I know, let me use your words now, that the numbers there, giving the juggernauts there, the political heavyweights who may not be part of such party, what's their chance of even winning
the kind of revolution we have now is no longer about party, it's about individual. The youths are no longer looking at political parties. They are looking at people, young people who have the capacity, who have the strength, who have the all without, the world without, who has the message, who has the future of their brothers and sisters at heart. That is what we are looking at now. It is no longer about party issue. It is about what do you have to offer. And because this is what we want. That is why, whether you're in party A, you're in party B, and you have the message. The message has to represent the youth. Once you have the message, the youth will queue in. Whether if party A said, okay, that their programs is towards youth empowerment, youth development, the youth will rally around and they support the party. So it's not all about party, it's all about what do you have to offer.
Okay.
If the PDP have all it takes to offer to convince the party, to convince the youth, the youth in the state to vote for them, we'll massively vote for them. The same thing with every other, but the guidelines, the mandates, their mission statements has a lot to convince us.
Okay.
To say this is actually what we want. So the platforms is important, but we're looking at individuals.
I'm going to come to Honorable Commissioner as to understand what he thinks about this, because if I had it clearly, you did mention the fact that, okay, if the party, perhaps their philosophy or what they think, mission statement doesn't really tally with what the youth are thinking, the best thing is going to be to create another party. But I'm going to get his thoughts on that. I want to engage Elder now. He said creating a different party altogether. Is that the best way to get the youths involved? Is that the best way to start squeezing them through the echelon, the apex level of politics in the state and, of course, in the nation?
Eda?
Yeah?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, like he said, if you cannot fit in Party A, sure, you have an option. It is all about freedom of association. We have so many political parties, and if you look around, you see that people are really adjusting and making some kind of alignments and realignments. So if the conditions in terms of the cost of obtaining nomination forms and expression of interest forms is so prohibitive for any particular young person, that should not make him lose hope. He has options. He can look beyond that particular party and go to other parties. Like the chairman of the Youth Council said, today, if you read the tempo, you see that it is no longer about political parties per se. It is about proving individuals that can deliver. So if you think that you have something to offer, you can go to any party. Many people are going to Young People's Party, whatever they call it now. And also, you see that when they go there, they are received with open arms, and they can afford to pick their forms at a very reasonable cost.
Okay.
So it's not for them to really market themselves to show that we can make the difference. In fact, people are talking about the third force. And if you talk about the third force, you see that there are so many parties. So the youth can make the difference with their number.
Okay. Honorable Commissioner, they mentioned having to create a different party, and I'm sure you understand what politics is. Some say that true politics is staying true with your party, come what may. Do you think it's the best idea to leave the party, perhaps the party where you are currently going to another, just about to make a statement, or be heard and seen in the current state of things in the state and the nation?
It's definitely not the solution, considering the time.
Give us another one.
Considering the time of the day, and then let us also, whatever thing we're going to say, we must look at the amended Electoral Act. We know that there are time frames state up there within which period you register parties and things like that. But I want to tell you, without fear of any contradiction, the People's Democratic Party has all it takes. Has showcased everything that they are youth friendly.
Does it reflect on their presidential candidate, if I may ask?
Everything, even the youth what's it called? The youth leader of the national PDP today is below 30
I'm
years.
talking about the president. Does it reflect on that, the youthfulness and what they are looking for? Does it reflect on the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party?
It does. You must not be a president. As a matter of fact, to be able to contribute your quota as a youth, you must not be a president. And to that extent, all we need to do is to look at the manifesto of the party, those that do have your interests at heart. And like as I had mentioned before, if you come down today and look at both in the State Executive Council and the local government system and everywhere, and all sorts of government, everybody working for the governor within the sector, the different strata, are all youths. And then what else do you think any individual needs? It's only somebody who has your interest at heart, who, when appointments are given, you are carried along and things like that on elective positions. You are carried along. So it must not necessarily mean that you must be a president to contribute your quota. So today, yes, even before the presidential candidate was chosen for People's Democratic Party, you also saw that there were youths who also lined up, but the best candidate won, as a matter of fact.
Was it about the best candidate, or about those of them who are heavyweights, and of course their pockets are heavy as well?
There are a lot of components that make up the system. So if your pocket is part of it, if how genuine you are is part of it, and what have you, and your ability to also reach out to people, to other stakeholders, and at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that PDP has all it takes to showcase that youths are very important in this country today, and that's what they're doing. So I will also encourage every youth, not without any fear of contradiction, or that they should key in and also become part of the system, which they are. So as they have registered, I know that they have also come to also vote in PDP candidates, because they are all...
You are near on doing politicking at this very moment.
You drag me to that particular thing that I have to respond.
Before I let you go, it's important to hear from you as the Commissioner for Youth Development. Before I let you go, what do you have to say to them at a very crucial moment as this? What do you have to tell them?
I must emphatically state that if you choose the way of crime, you will be caught by the long arms of the law, and you'll be prosecuted. The laws are there.
I thought you would have started on a soft
No. I know why I'm saying this. Because, like as I had told you before, there are certain set of people, no matter what you do, they choose to remain criminals. So I want to really sound it as a note of warning to them that they should refrain from that particular side and come. And the first set of empowerment. The first empowerment you must talk about is your mindset.
Okay.
In human capital development, you must first of all develop your mind and know what you want for yourself. Even if it's to sell chewing stick, if you decide to develop that particular business, you see it grow wild and you become an entrepreneur of the highest order. And the Governor Kezikwazu, has provided platforms, very, very juicy platforms for you to come and cash in. Like I mentioned, that microfinance bank in Ngwa Road, if you go in there and you have a good package, discuss with the management of that particular bank, you will be accommodated and you will do your businesses. And then a whole lot of other issues, just like as I had said. So I want to humbly advise and call our youth today, using this particular day, to be meaningfully engaged. First of all, build up your mind and know what you want for yourself, and you go for it, and God will bless your handwork and it will really flourish.
I don't think it will be complete if we do not hear from the other gentlemen. Go ahead, talk to the youths.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to tell the youth that all hopes are not lost, that they should brace up. As it looks today as if everything is going haywire, there's also light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
They should sit up. They should take their destiny in their hands. When it comes to making decisions, choices, which is what we call empowerment, make the right choice. Not every decision you make today has a consequence, even for tomorrow. So when they know that nobody will ever, bear the consequences of their own action for today except themselves. So let them look on, forward, believing that present administration has a lot in stock for their own good. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Yes, I agree with them when they said and I don't mind, it's a devil's workshop. And my commissioner and the director have just said, but let me also re-emphasize, especially for our youths, the student, from the student angle. I understand in the last 6 months they've been at home. And I think the best thing is to have a skill. Use these 6 months and have a skill.
Okay.
Once you have a skill, you stay out of trouble. Once you have a skill, you have a focused mind. The government are also trying to provide platforms. Use what you have, especially the social medias, to access informations from government. There are a lot of opportunities lying down there. Okay. And we've not been able to, so the student need to utilize this opportunity to access those things and have a skill, most important, so that when they get back to school, you can sustain yourself even without any support from anywhere.
Okay, I've been speaking with Honorable Barrister Charles Ezono, who is the Honorable Commissioner for Youth and Development, or Youth Development. I have heard that Dr. Temple Wosu, the Director of Youth Mobilization, Ministry of Youth Development, and Comrade Smith O. Silvanus, State Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria here in Abia State. Joining us virtually at this very moment is YPP candidate for the House of Assembly, Obed Naji. Thank you very much for joining us on the platform this morning here on Flow 94.9 FM. Good morning. This
good morning.
Is very perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. It's the International Youth Day, and of course there are a couple of things we need to iron out. I'm going to ask you this very question. Are youths actually recognized across political parties in the state and of course in the nation at large? Are they giving their proper place?
Yes, not at all. Not at all. I mean, not at all. I think that is one of the reasons why a party like the Young Progressive Party was founded, to enable the youth to have their place in the political environment.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah. We got that one very, very well. Moving on. What are their contributions in political parties? I mean, with a view to taking over government, having in mind that I'm not just a member of this very party because I want to belong there. I'm a part of this party because I'm looking forward to getting to the apex of governance.
Yeah, yes, of course. Like you said, like you rightly put, we're not contesting election for the sake of contesting. We're contesting election because things are not properly done in our society, and we feel that the youth, who are actually the epitome of the society, are not being carried along. If we look at the history, M.I. Okpara, the premier of the then Eastern Nigeria, did all he did as a youth. But nowadays, those that served with MI Okpara are still around the corner. They are still the ones controlling the system. So that is why the youth are eager to take over, because they believe that it's them that will get things right. Because it's their time, it's their generation. They are the ones suffering it. They are the ones staying at home at the moment. They are the ones without skills. They are the ones who are hopeless. Most people in Nigeria, most youth cannot plan their future any longer. You enroll for a course of 4 years, you end up spending 8 years. After graduating from uni, the same job, the same opportunity that you're seeking for your father is there. Your father is made a special advisor to the governor. You know, and you're displaced because you cannot be going for a position that your father is occupying. So that is why I think the youth are really, really engaged in changing the status quo.
It seems from your body language, I mean, from what you've said already, you do not agree with the gentleman in the studio who absolutely agreed that they're not too young to run bill which was signed into law in 2018 has made a significant impact on the involvement of the youth in the political sphere and the ecosystem of the nation.
Yeah, I agree with him. I mean, I agree with him totally. I agree with him, and he's making impact. That the not too young to run bill, it created consciousness in the hearts of the youth. It was that bill that actually it was, let me say, like a marathon. From that bill, as soon as that bill was passed, the youth's voice became loud. That was what led to EndSARS protest. From EndSARS protest, you find the youth getting into the politics, into their not just their future, their today. Look at the obedient movement. Obedient movement is something that is being pushed by the youth.
Okay.
It's being accelerated by the youth.
What do you have to say about, I mean, we're talking about participation of the youth there, the humongous amount of money that parties are requesting for to get the nomination and expression of interest forms from those who are aspiring for one position or the other across the nation. What do you have to say about that? Does it actually engender them, motivate them to get involved in politics, or does it push them further away from the epicenter of the politics?
No, apparently it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, look at it. I mean, we have unemployment everywhere, and you have people who actually should get involved, but because they lack funds, because the older party has made it very difficult for them to compete. So, I mean, it's been very, very, very difficult for the youth to get involved, and that is why we have alternative parties like YPP, Young Progressive Party, and other parties, not just YPP. There are other parties that came on board with almost zero nomination fee for the youth.
Okay, I've got two more crucial questions to ask you now. It is challenging, I mean, being a part of a party and having these aspirations, and some persons at some point will be thinking, are you trying to challenge me? You understand this chasm or gulf between the person you believe is your father, I'm talking about what you mentioned, and as a youth, and then, so what are the challenges that youth are facing when they try to aspire for positions, and then how can that be surmounted in the 21st century perhaps?
Yes, I mean, the challenges are there, and I mean, they are glaring. There is poverty in the land. A lot of people are impoverished, so they can be enticed during the election era. So we are using sensitization, even though, yes, youth are meant to face challenges. We recognize that there are challenges, and that is why we're spending our time to talk to our people, not to be carried away by the usual election philanthropists. This is the era that the system or the government will be doling out empowerment packages just to get the heart of the youth or to get the heart of the same people that they have impoverished, the same people that they have kept at home for over 6 months, you know. So we're sensitizing our people. We know the bigger challenge is funds. is finance and the kind of message out there. Because of poverty, people tend to, just get what they can eat for that moment, and so we're saying to vote buying. Other than that, I think the system now is no longer, like Smith said, it's no longer business as usual. We're going into the election with our heart full confidence, knowing that it is no longer business as usual. Even the ordinary woman in the rural area is much more aware of the poverty. Is more aware that the kids that she is suffering to send to school has been at home for the past 6 months. Those in the medical school, absolutely can no longer go to become doctors because their accreditation has been withdrawn for the past getting to 1 year, and we heard of the Abia Poly incident. So I mean, those kids that are in these institutions have parents, and most of them come from rural areas. So the message is now sent to the rural area. So those in the village even recognize the fact that they will not be entitled anymore with money. So the challenges are there, but we know we can surmount the challenges. We're talking. The conversation is ongoing. We keep talking and sensitizing the people that it's no longer business as usual. You cannot mortgage your future and mortgage the future of your children.
Okay. Still staying with the participation of the youths in politics, there is this very important question I want to ask. I mean, there is this saying that we have to dream big. You know what I mean? Now, you are contesting for a seat in the House of Assembly. Why haven't you gone for the governorship position or presidency? I mean, in tandem with it, not too young to run. Why have you decided to seemingly start off from the list? I mean, looking at the state of things.
Yeah. Apparently, thank you very much, Smith. That is, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. You understand? Over the years, they have impoverished the system. They have changed turned the mentality of the people into something else. So it's not something you can force yourself into. Although, I mean, what is governance? Like I said, is not a rocket science. One of the easiest thing to do is to govern. It's so simple, but because they don't know, they are not aware, they look at it as a rocket science. What is there for us in Abia State is enough for us to have a paradise state. We have all it takes. We have got, so being contesting for governor, to me, is not a big deal. But because the system at the moment is not ready, not yet ready to allow people like us, who has nothing like Obama, to emerge. That is why we are not contesting, but we're starting from the grassroots. I am
very certain you want to say quite a lot, but for want of time at this moment, I would open up the phone line so we get to interact with our listeners. I am pretty sure they have questions. Honorable Commissioner in the studio, and of course, the gentleman here, perhaps yourself. So the number to call at this moment is 080818264949 or 0811605249. You prefer a message? We've got you covered. Set that to 09065108289. Who's going to be our lucky first caller this morning? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, my honorable sister in the studio. My honorable commissioner, good morning to you, sir.
Go ahead, tell us your name and location.
Hello, can you hear me?
Your background is deafening. I am pretty sorry for that. Your background is deafening, and we do not want to lose our ears. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Tell us your name and location.
I am Dr. Pendadia. Good morning, honorable commissioner.
Good morning, brother.
My name is Obama Chidi.
Okay.
I am representing the group of West Initial and West South, the Village of the Hope of Alliance. The chairman that has come in, Dr. Alex Oki. Mr. Speaker.
Go ahead.
Everything we are talking, God will bless you and your family. I know you are my brother. You are my brother. So I like everything, everything you are talking is well, and the way you are talking. But remember one thing: youth is the hope of politicians in every country, in every state, in every country. Now,
Wrap up your thoughts now so that we can give others a chance to have a go.
okay. See, if the government of other states are making way to youth, this election.
Thank you very much for your take. Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, and quickly your points.
Yeah, I'm Mr. O. I'm calling from Oma here.
Go ahead, Mr. O.
Yeah, when we talk about the youth, now there are some at Ishigate terrorizing aged women who are struggling to make an end living for the day. What about those ones? What does the government have for them that are there in Ishigate? They are there, youths, most of them. They are just moving around. If you go to Ishigate, you should also see them by the other side, selling hard drugs and uselessing the whole area. Well, at the end of the day, the government is aware because they are collecting funds, and we are believing that the government has the returns from what those youths are collecting from there. So what future do they have for those ones?
Okay.
At the end of the day,
I'm sure Honorable Commissioner would respond. Thank you very much. Your question is very much noted. Another caller. Thank you for joining us.
good morning, Sir Speaker.
Go ahead.
My name is Chidi. I'm calling from Omokrog,
You're welcome.
Ngose,
You're welcome.
in Ishalamba. Mr. Speaker, I am aware of all these things the commissioner are saying. Mr. Commissioner, good morning, sir.
Good morning, brother.
You are very blessed.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, if the commissioner tells us normal thing the government are doing in Nigeria, you are not a blind person to see everything government are doing in Nigeria. No development, no infrastructure, no nothing in Nigeria. Look at the education sector in Nigeria has collapsed. Look at the health sector in Nigeria has collapsed. No road in Ishalanga South and North.
Wrap up your thoughts.
Government has said that they are building. But the commissioner from Ishalanga North here, from Ososo, no road to reach the hometown of the commissioner. But the commissioner has said and tell you that the government are trying.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your take. Looking at the Facebook page, yes, you can see us live on Facebook, facebook.com/Flow949FM. Let me take the comment of Ezekiel Elvis now before I turn back to the phone lines. It says, good morning, political analyst, the guest in the studio. Happy weekend from this end. Weezy, like your guest has already and rightly stated, the youths are no longer interested in any political party per se anymore, but rather in a credible, competent, foresighted, God-fearing and intellectual leaders, because we've suffered enough in the hands of visionless and idealess leaders. If we don't get it right this time around, then we might suffer more wars and calamity in the nearest future. God help us in this country. From Thank God Izuchukwu says, oh God, that's not for us. From It's Okay Justice, he says PDP in Abia State should be sent home come 2023. Let me take more of the calls. This one is from Magnus Emmanuel Chigoz. He says, my brother, I greet you guys. I'm not seeing anything like security in Abia State. Even the police officers are insecurity to people. Seth, that's from engineer. Not to take this morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name. And of course,
My name is Papa Mayu, calling from Omaya.
you have 30
I just want
seconds.
to add a little salt there.
30
You
seconds.
know, all those people who are traveling to rebuild Abia, they are put wine in a new bottle. Let me tell you. Only God will bring those who will run this state. We should stop deceiving ourselves. You see some those who people allowed to come there continue saying all things that we will do. After all said and done, they cannot achieve anything. Only other states will remain in the God's hand. One thing we should know is that the devil you know is better than the angel whom you don't know.
Well, I seemingly do not understand where you're coming from. There is no devil anywhere and there is no angel anywhere. We are human beings, of course, in the state. Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and location. You are going to be our very last caller. Go ahead.
Mr. John on the line.
Okay. Be as quick as you can be.
All right. My contribution is there was a development talked about on a young man, giving a young man a scholarship. They don't have to come out to say that not apt to quickly done to him that it was just a small strain. Please, the Commissioner of Youth, what does he have to say about?
Thank you very much. He's going to respond now. I'm going to let him respond, but first of all, okay, go ahead, respond to that. Perhaps the questions that have come your way this morning.
Okay, just like
that's your way of, that's your way of signing out, by the way.
The little puzzle you had said that you don't understand the young man that spoke. He said that most of the people contesting and yelling at people are old wine in new bottle. Obed Naji, I never even knew that he has defected. He's my friend and he has enjoyed the largesse of the party and the PDP government, and I'm very surprised, just like as I said. The governor, His Excellency, I didn't remember to mention that he has empowered several thousands of youths in the special assistant, special advisor packages. They're all youths. They receive at least 66,000 naira is what they're receiving right now. Virtually everybody, when you go there and see what's there, I mean, I even marvel, how does he cope with getting the monies to pay these people? I thought it was just like a fluke, but he's doing it. And then a lot of other General, yes, time is not our friend. I want to use this medium to invite everybody. On the 19th, this Youth Day is culminating into our grand finale program on the 19th of just next week, where we're going to have a town hall meeting at Michael Okpara Auditorium, and our guest speaker is no other person, a person than Professor Uchenna Ikonne, who is coming, who is an erudite professor, who is coming to talk to the youths. So I want everybody to, you see what happened that day, and also some other stuff. Thank you.
You tell our marketing department for that very one. Thank you very much, Elder Dr. Temple Nwosu, Director, Youth Mobilization, Minister of Youth Development. Thank you very much, Comrade Smith O. Silvanus, who is the State Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Abia State Chapter. And of course, my guest virtually, I'm talking about Obed, who joined us virtually, a YPP House of Assembly candidate. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being a part of the platform this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, our dear listeners.
Thank you, Wisdom.
Thank you very much. And dear listeners who engaged us through Facebook and, of course, on phone. Let me say a sincere thank you to my producer, Mr. Ginika Oloha, and, of course, Mr. Prosper, who is here. He will take half of my salary. Thank you very much for every contribution from your angle. Adeze here, and of course the guns behind the visuals you are seeing on Facebook. The platform will definitely make a return come Monday, same time, same station. I'm Wisdom Thomas. Do have a lovely weekend ahead. God bless all of us.